I thought I'd go through the whole process of animating one shot. This is shot 14. So this is video is in two parts. Um, this is the shot after the thug has run into the laundromat to hide from the police, and he's just watching the police cars go by. And once they go by, he looks at his bloody hand and then notices that there's somebody else in the laundromat as well. So I've imported the character into the scene. I've imported or linked, I should say, and I've linked the set in as well. I've got that hidden. And now I'm just going through frame number 1, trying to pose him. And if you notice in the center there, you've got video of me acting out the shot with a yet another Oscar caliber performance here. Pretty soon I'll be doing acting workshops on YouTube as well. But so anyway, ignore the acting. It's just a reference there. So what I'm doing is I'm going through the video and trying to find the extremes or the maze of the action. And when I find the main keys, I press M in the timeline to put a marker there, and that gives me kind of a sense of where I need to go through, how many extremes I've got in this particular shot. So it's just a lot of tweaking. I'm just trying to match the character to the pose I am in the video. And of course you can't always get it quite the same. This character is got a thick neck and big torso and big arms and everything, completely opposite of me. But because of the big torso, big arms and stuff, there's a certain limit to how far I can move him. So I'm just trying to get it as close as I can. When I do the pose for the extreme, I'll then hit I. Well, I'll choose all the controls and bones and hit I and location, rotation, and scale, and then make that column of keys that I've talked about. And here he's just looking at the blood on his hands. What's supposed to happen is he's looking out the window, and as he turns his head, his shoulder hurts because he's got a bullet wound in his shoulder, so it's going to hurt. So he grimaces, and after he grimaces, he turns and looks at his shoulder and looks at his hand, and the blood from his shoulder is dripped down onto his hand. So that's why he's looking at his hand. And then after that, he looks up and sees the kid across the laundromat at the pinball machine. So here I've just done a screen blast by control clicking the little render button in the 3D view. And then I go back and I watch that screen blast over and over again and take a few notes and then go back and work on those. And then I do it again and again and again and again. And it just, hopefully, after doing it time and time again, it gets incrementally better. And on this pass, I'm just doing the body animation and the eyes. I try and do the eyes along with the body. And then in part 2, you'll see I'll do the facial animation. If you're going to be doing character animation, whatever program you're using, I would really recommend having open the well, Blender calls it the IPO editor, but I guess they will call it the graph editor in 2.5, 2.6. But having the graph editor open and the dope sheet, or as they call it in Blender currently, the action editor, it really helps to be able to see all your keys and your graphs or your curves as you're doing this. And if you find there's a little pop or a jerk in the animation, you can usually zoom into the curves and find where that pop happens and smooth it out. And it really helps, instead of trying to fix it by moving the character again and again and again. So here you see that I'm smoothing out curves because of a pop. Trying here to find where the pop is, moving curves around, and I found that it's here. And smoothing out the transitions between actions really helps in the with curves. And sometimes, as in here, I'll go in and I'll just well, I think no, I didn't do it there. But sometimes I'll just delete a key on a curve to allow it to transition a little more smoothly. So I've pretty much got the extremes, the main keys here, and I'm just going through on the in-betweens and trying to add some extra action. So I can see here that I don't know if I fix it at this point, but I can see here that the hand, while he lifts the hand, that's kind of floaty and slow. I guess there was a jerk here on the head turn. One thing too that I do is when I'm rotating something, when I'm animating a character, I put the what's that called? The edit mode. I'm not sure, but you can change from normal to local to global. I usually rotate in normal mode and move in global mode, if that makes any sense. And here on the hand turn, a little bit earlier, I think, I was trying to turn the hand in global mode, and it was getting some awful twisting. And I think I finally figured out the problem and changed to normal, and it worked a lot better. So that's the first half, and we'll pick it up more in part 2.